So, how's your bounce back these days? Hey friends, it's Pastor Mike from Fellowship Church. Always enjoy connecting with you midweek. Hope you're having a great week. We're having a wonderful week of Vacation Bible School here at the church. Over 100 kids hanging around the church every night. We sure appreciate your sharing your kids with us for the week, and we're glad to have them. So let me ask you that question again. How's your bounce back these days? Sounds like kind of a strange question. Let me give you a word for the day. We're going to talk about this for a second. It's the word resilient. We use that word a number of ways in our world. When we talk about something that's resilient, quite often we're talking about physical things like parts. If you're in the manufacturing world, we tend to stress test things to make sure the parts are good. We take a plastic part, we bend it, and then we check to see if it snaps back, or if it breaks, or maybe it doesn't return to its original position. We measure resilience that way. A part is resilient if it returns to the original condition after it's been stressed. Sometimes mental health professionals talk about a person's emotional resilience. Sometimes they call that psychological resilience. Emotional or psychological resilience is the ability of a person to recover after undergoing stress or maybe even a crisis. For example, we all had kind of a difficult year in the year 2020. It certainly was a crisis year in a lot of ways. Psychologists like to measure how well a person responds to things like that. They measure not only the rate of response, how quickly a person recovers, but they also measure the magnitude of the recovery, like do they recover all the way, or are they still bearing some wounds? If you've had a difficult experience in your life, psychologists would say they want to measure your resilience coming out of that. But here's one more way I'd like you to think of that word. There is such a thing, I believe, as spiritual resilience. That is, the ability to go through difficult circumstances in this life and still maintain our relationship with God. For some people, their spiritual resilience might be a little low, meaning if they go through difficult circumstances, their relationship with God becomes fractured. Here's something we know about the Apostle Paul, 2 Corinthians. The Apostle Paul talks about some of his experiences in ministry, and believe me, some of them were not great. The Apostle Paul was beaten numerous times, he was shipwrecked, he was on the run for his life, and yet the Apostle Paul still retained his passion for ministry. Well, how did he do that? Spiritual resilience is based upon a person's ability to keep their eyes fixed upon Jesus during difficult times. What got the Apostle Paul back up on his feet again after he'd been beaten and shipwrecked and on the run for his life, what got him on his feet again was his belief that he was doing something for God. And he believed that Jesus Christ was in it. He had his eyes fixed on Jesus, and that kept him moving forward. Friends, when you go through difficult circumstances in this life, emotionally speaking, physically speaking, and of course even spiritually speaking, are you able to keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, believing that he still has purposes in this? Or maybe do you flounder a bit there? Because resilience is based upon your ability to keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. If you're going through a difficult time in this life, or perhaps that happens in your future, may you keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. It'll keep you bouncing back, friends. It'll give you a sense of resilience, and it'll get you back up on your feet again. May your spiritual resilience be really a really good case of bounce back in this life, friends. Thanks as always for tuning in. Love to connect with you midweek. Hope you have a great week. Praying for all of you. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.